Hello everyone, I'm Rachel Tessman from stampyourartout.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Andover, Minnesota in the US, and I'm here to bring you a live paper crafting class. It is Wednesday, February 7th, 2024 at 11 a.m. Central Time. So if you're here at that time, you're watching live. Yay! If you're not here at that time, you're watching the after live, and I would welcome you to comment anyways. Comments are fun. They help me to get to know you, and it makes it more enjoyable. So I hope that you chime in and say hello. Comments get you entered into a prize drawing too. I'd like to welcome Trisha Josephs and Lisa Marshall. Trisha Josephs is my moderator on YouTube because while YouTube is going on live, I can't actually respond to those comments that are happening during the live, even after the live is done. So she's here to answer questions for us, and Lisa Marshall is here on Facebook with us. So thank you so much to Lisa and Trisha, and welcome all of you. If you're here watching for the first time, let us know. If you've been watching for a long time, let us know. I am going to show you some home decor stuff today, but I'm also going to, because I'm a card maker and scrapbooker, show you how to take those elements and turn them into a photo page or greeting cards. So you kind of get a whole bunch of ideas in one video today. We're going to be featuring the Perennial Lavender suite, and that is a suite that debuted in the January through April mini catalog. It's a beautiful suite, and it's oh so popular, so much so that little parts and pieces of the suite are currently not available in the US market, but they're going to be coming back. So just, come back to the video later on after you get your products and you can recreate what I share. But I hope that you enjoy. You can always apply these ideas to other products that you own. Samplers are hot. They're like one of the things that paper crafters love to create lately. It's pretty easy too, because if you like to make cards, you take and you make little tiny pieces that could go on cards, but you arrange them on a scrapbook size paper. You can even put them on like 8x8 or 8.5x11 or whatever, but the 12x12 ones are just stunning. And if you are like me, you may even have frames that you have on your walls that you can insert these pages into so that you have these beautiful samplers decorating your home. And people like to change them out too. They take and they'll put like a spring one up, or they'll put one up for the holidays, or that kind of thing. So it's really fun. This one has kind of got a love theme to it. February-ish, it's perfect for this time of year. So I think that is all I need to share with you. Let's go to the desktop and take a peek at this sampler. It's really, really pretty. So if I do say so myself. So you can see we have little elements that could be put onto cards, right? So we're going to be making this today, and it's using the Perennial Lavender suite in the mini catalog. Let me just take a show at where that is if you have this catalog. If you don't, you can find the products also online. So if we go to the index at the beginning, 22 is where we'll see them. Page 22. You can see that the suite is made up of two different bundles. So there's a stamp set and a die combo and a stamp set and a die combo. I'll be using both stamp set, these dies, the purple gems, and the designer paper. And I'd show you my designer paper, except I'm really using it up. And I don't have full sheets of hardly anything left. So, and you can see lots of beautiful samples in the pages of the catalog too. Okay, let's go to the computer now. I think I'm gonna pull up for you this little thing here. This is the PDF. I don't do written directions when I do videos, and because I'm a mom, I've got a family, and it takes time. So this is the PDF that I share on my blog post because it's obviously something that you can print off or you can keep on your, like in a folder on your desktop or something, but it refers back to the post. You have the date, you have the title, you have the measurements and supplies and the photos, and you can always go back to that video or that blog post and you can rewatch the video so that you can recreate that project. So yes, you can take a screenshot if you'd like to, but at 3 p.m. Central Time. So in a little over 4 hours, or a little under 4 hours, this post will go live. And I'm going to be live with some other friends on my All-Star team, so you can get lots of ideas using the Perennial Lavender Suite. So take a peek at all of that. Now let's go back to the desktop and let's get to creating. Okay, let's start out by taking some 12 by 12 paper. Now, normally I create an 8.5 by 11. A lot of us paper crafters love to if we're into cards. But I'm going to show you that we do have 12 by 12 cardstock. In fact, it's in my bins behind me on the wall. That's where I store my 12 by 12 because, again, I like to scrapbook, and I scrapbook in 12 by 12. You can take and cut your Blackberry Bliss colored cardstock, which is what we're going to be using for the base pieces of the card. You can cut that from 8.5 by 11, but you'll get 6 pieces per sheet rather than you can get 12 from one of the 12 by 12 sheets. We don't need 12. I'm just going to cut a few more right now, but you will need 7. You'll need 7 squares. Yep, and then 1 larger piece. So the squares are all 3 by 3, and with 12-inch cardstock, you can get 3, another 3, another 3. You can get 4 rows going that way, and of course 4 the other way. So I can get 4 more out of this piece here. So I'm cutting 3 inches, 3 inches, 3 inches, 3 inches. All right, the next step is we're going to create some little elements for our page. And I think I have 3 more here, yes. Oh, and I want to tell you that this piece is 3 inches by 6 1/4. And it's 6 1/4 instead of 6 because that little section has to go beyond and include this little separation measurement there. So that's why we added 1/4 inch there. All right, the first piece that we're gonna do involves some of the designer paper. Let's zoom in just a little bit here. I've added my grid paper on top of my glass mat because I noticed that sometimes when I'm doing videos, not only is there like a reflection, but sometimes the focus isn't working when you see that reflected surface. So I have that on there just to help keep everything in focus. This piece here is from the Perennial Lavender designer paper, and I chose this one because it has lots of full purplish flowers on it. There's a few sheets in there that have that look, and so I took one of them. It's the one that's back to back with this piece, and I cut it to smaller than 3 by 3. So this piece is 3 by 3, remember. This piece is 2 1/4 by 2 1/4. So we are just going to, and I'm just checking my little direction sheets here. I have them pinned all over the desk here. We're just going to add this directly to that piece. And now we have one of our squares done, believe it or not. We're going to set that one aside. And then I have another piece, and it looks like this, and it's even smaller. It's 2 1/2 by 2 1/2. And that is because I had already used up a ton of my paper by the time I was ready to make this sampler, and I only had this size piece left, 2 1/2 inches wide, from some other project that I had done. So you're gonna have to forgive me because I didn't have a 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. But the nice thing is it can help add some more white and just kind of give a different look to the focal point. This is going to be the center of our piece. I have a whole bunch of these 3 by 3 pieces everywhere, you guys. I'm going to go ahead and grab this one, and we'll just add this with seal adhesive right to the middle. So this one's almost done. It just needs some embellishments. 2 pieces, and you know where they're at? They are this one and this one. We did the simplest ones first, okay? Hi, Julia. Thanks so much. Julia from Arkansas saying nice things about me. Okay, the next one is a piece that involves some work. So we're gonna now take, and I'm just gonna set those off to the corner here. We're now gonna take some scraps and we're gonna do some punching. So we're bringing in some extra products. When you do samplers, it's fun to add in extra punches, extra dies, embossing folders, that kind of thing. It just makes for a fuller look because you sometimes can't do it all with just the products in your suite. And you don't have to get suites either, but the nice thing about suites for samplers is everything coordinates and you have all these different, you know, sections of the sampler that you want to have coordinate. So I have this punch, and this punch is the bee builder punch. This is the bee's body with the stinger, the wings, and then this punches out the antenna. But you'll notice too that it has hearts, right? So these can be adapted and turned into hearts. So we're just going to take and punch from this fine shimmer paper. I'm going to tilt it a little bit this way. So if you tilt it on this 1 1/4 inch strip, you can also come back and you can overlap those 2 small hearts and you can get the most of your paper that way. So this fine shimmer paper, let me show it to you, is really, really pretty. It comes with colors that really work well with our sampler that we're making. So you have the Lost Lagoon, Pretty Peacock, Fresh Freesia, and I believe this is Night of Navy. And then we have Berry Burst, which is, you know, kind of a complementary, well, not complementary, but it complements this Blackberry Bliss a little bit. And I just want to make sure I got the name right. Yes, Soft Shimmer Paper, Berry Burst, Bubble Bath, I guess, sorry. Lost Lagoon, Night of Navy, and Pretty Peacock. But I can see how this here can look like, which is what we just used, can look like Fresh Freesia, which is a color that's in the papers. You know what? I might as well just show you this quickly too. This is what's left over, you guys. This is my stash of papers left over. Not too many pieces left. Definitely not full sheets left. I have been loving up this paper, but you can see how pretty it is just from the pile, right? Okay. All right. Yes, thank you, Patricia. Patricia just explained why I'm not showing the paper, and now you can see too. It's tiny little pieces of most everything. Let's grab some white now, and let's do the same thing where we're going to punch. And I've already punched out some other pieces. In fact, I punched out my hearts in the other color, the Lost Lagoon. Let's zoom in. And we're going to do the same thing that we did with this piece. So we're going to bring in a couple of these hearts and we're going to layer them. So I'm just going to take and put adhesive on the back side, and you can use your seal adhesive like I'm doing, or if you'd rather not use seal, because it sometimes can get a little ornery on you, you can use your Tombow multi-purpose liquid glue. That works also. Okay, now the heart actually has one side different than the other. So you want to line it up, and I'm lining this one up so it's just a little bit off to the upper left where the shading or the shadow, the white shadow, is going to the upper left. On this one, I had it go straight up because of how I'm going to tilt the hearts on my layer, okay? You don't have to get that technical with your dimension, your look of dimension or anything, but just layer them the same if you want to. Oh, and then I put it on the white instead of the pink. Hang on, let's do that again. In fact, let's use this glue. Okay, just a dot of that glue, lift it up without getting my fingers. This is why I don't use glue, you guys. Okay, there. I do have a tweezers. Yes, some of you are saying, grab your tweezers. I don't like to get messy, you guys. Okay, this one's gonna go on like that, because that's going on a different piece. So I'm saving these two for another piece, and this one's sticky now, so I have to stick it on my on my glass mat, which I can wipe later. Okay, let's deal with this one. This one is going to go onto this piece. So let's go ahead and mount that. Oh, that's pretty too. The whole lot of this paper is just gosh darn gorgeous. Okay, we'll add that. And then we've got a banner that we pre-stamped, because if you've watched my videos before, you know that I like to stamp your art out. So I've already stamped on this strip, which is 4 inches by 1 inches. And then I took another punch, and you don't have to use this punch. You can instead just snip with your paper snips into the middle. But I took and I used our Banners Pick-a-Punch, it's called, and I used this end. So, okay, so now that that is punched and stamped, I'm going to curve it this way with my bone folder, and then I'm going to curve this end up this way. Okay, so it has a little bit of a lift there. Because this is going on a wall and it's not going into a scrapbook, I don't have to worry about, you know, extra dimension coming up and off the paper. I can have that kind of a curve there. Let's add 2 layers of dimensionals. Here's my dimensionals. So I'm going to add 2 layers to where it sits the best on my table. So here it's touching my table. This is where I want it to go. I'm going to put 2 there, peel off the back side, and put two more on top. Okay. Oh, and you know what? I should have kept the backings on there because I'm not going to add that until we start assembling. But this is going to go onto this piece like that. Okay. So we want to make room for that to tuck under the hearts. And again, I should have put some backing on it. We'll just put this underneath it. There we go. Okay. So this is going to go on like that. And these hearts are going to go like that. So let's add some dimensionals to the back side of this. I love dimensionals, you guys. They are one of the best adhesives ever. So this one's really going to touch the middle of that square. Okay, the edge is touching the middle, and we're just going to overlap. So this one goes here. Oops. I want to be able to tuck this. Okay, that one goes there, and this one, oh, here they are. They're right in front of me. This one, and I'm going to put dimensionals all over the back side of this one so that it actually kind of angles up and off the other heart, because this one's lifted up, but I didn't put a dimensional under the base so that when I put this one on, it can go on top and still give like this 3D look with not too much layering. Okay, and then I also have a butterfly, and I've stamped it beforehand, and I've cut it out with some dies that come in that suite, and I've curved it, or bent it I should say, so that the wings are popping up. And I'm going to demonstrate that for you. Let's grab some glue dots. Let's just put this paper together and the other one together, and then I'll do a quick little demonstration. Grabbing my glue dot. And when you have your glue dots, you can take and roll it if you want to, which is what I'm trying to do. I'm rolling it, and then I'm going to add it kind of like a little rolled up burrito is what some people say. I love that. I've got a rolled up glue dot, and that's going to get connected right here on my heart. So this is how this will get added. Oh, and I'm going to have to move this heart over a bit. Let's see if that works. I might just have to pull this up a bit. Okay, now it will get added there. Okay, perfect. So that one's set. We're going to put that aside, and let's grab our other one, which goes onto some more paper that is very similar to the first one I used. So you can see it came from the same sheet actually, but there's a couple sheets in there that look very full like that. So we'll take this one, and we'll set that one aside carefully because it has dimensionals on it. And let's add that one to a 3x3 piece. And then I'm going to show you how I did that two-toned butterfly. Okay, so these two are going to go on with dimensionals also. Let's just cut. I have mini dimensionals too, but you can just take and cut your dimensionals down. We'll stick one on the back, and that one's going to go down here. And we'll stick another one right here. like that, like the hearts are floating up. Okay, we have 4 elements out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 elements. We have 4 done, you guys. So cool. Okay, let me grab that scrap paper again, and I'm going to demonstrate that butterfly. So here's the butterfly. You can see that it has 2 kind of purplish colors on there. And the way that I did that is I took my gorgeous grape ink. The banner is stamped with a different color. This is stamped with Blackberry Bliss, okay? So I took my stamp, which is the butterfly stamp, and I inked it up. I'm going to grab my dauber here. And then I took my dauber. Okay, so I'm inking this up in the corner of my pad. You can ink up both of them if you want to. Just die cut one. But then I took my dauber and I made sure that it was kind of clear of a lot of ink, and I tapped it along the side of my butterfly on both sides. So you can see the ink lifting off, but it gives a real gradual dark to light look when you're using a dauber. So can you see that, how it looks now on the stamp? So we'll just stamp that down, and that's how you get that dark to light look. I like the one I just demoed better. All right, that's ready for another time. Let's close up the ink pad. We've done 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're on number 5. Number 5 is our big one. So we're going to grab this piece, and I've already cut my designer paper, and my designer paper this time is just the green background, which is back to back with one of my favorite designs. I love this one, but I thought this would be too distracting with the words across it. So we are going to have this side showing, because this is the section on the bottom that has the words adorned. Before we stick this down, we have another piece of that fine shimmer paper in that same color, the Lost Lagoon. So we use the Bubble Bath, which is like fresh freesia, and then we also are using the Lost Lagoon color. This is going to get stuck down here. So let's add that now. Actually, no, don't add that now, Rachel. Hang on. She's getting ahead of herself. We're going to punch this first. We have one more punch. So we use the Bee Builder punch for the hearts, and we use the Banners Pick a Punch for the banner. That's optional. Again, you could hand cut, fussy cut that if you want to. And you may even have hearts from elsewhere if you want to use hearts on it. But this is our 1 3/4 inch circle. I'm going to insert the 1 3/4 inch circle into my paper here so that it is lined up on the left side here with the bottom of the paper. This is the top of the paper, this is the bottom. Lining it up again, left edge is lined up with the bottom of the paper. And I'm going to punch. And you'll notice that the top end, by the way, is further in. Can you see that? This is further in than this. I want that heart to be close up to the top. So now we have about 1/2 inch, a centimeter-ish right there. Now we're going to take and we're going to use that same kind of tip there, where we're going to take the left edge. So the left edge is lined up with the bottom still, and we're seeing this tiny little piece here that looks like the connection of the 2 circles, right? So we're going to punch again. Okay, now we have 2 circles cut out side by side. This one we're going to keep because it's a full circle. We're going to add that to another element of the page. This one we're going to turn into a heart. And what we do for that is we just take our paper snips, and I like my long bladed scissors with this because I can aim for, and I'm just going to take a pencil and show you what I'm looking at in my mind's eye. So here's the top of the heart. This could be the bottom of the heart right here. So I'm going to aim my scissors from the side here to that spot. I'm looking at an imaginary dot that's a little bit beyond the bottom of the paper. So I'm taking and coming around, and I'm aiming. And now it looks like part of a heart that's been punched out. Okay? All right, this is going to get added to here. This is going to get added to here to make the heart stand out but be subtle. But we also need to add in a little bit of foliage. So I have pre-cut out with the dies. I need to show you those dies. I've cut this out with the dies, and this is using the Pretty Peacock shimmer paper, the fine shimmer paper. So it's, again, in that shimmer paper pack, 3 colors are just amazing with this. So we want to add this, and we're going to add it here about 1/2 inch below the top. And I kind of want it to go off the end here too, because on the other side of our page, we're going to have our foliage and flowers go off to the side too. So we want that to kind of go off to the side. And because it's so tiny, thanks Joy, she goes, oh, that's so cool. Because it's so tiny, we're going to add our glue with the fine tip or the precision tip bottle. This is something that you can get in my favorite extras section of my website. You just go to shop, and then underneath there's like a whole bunch of things. You can look at the catalogs, you can shop the online store, but you can also go to my favorite things, and there you will see things that I show during my demonstrations that I use often that I want you to be able to know how to access. Some of them are affiliate linked and some of them are not. For example, I'm not an affiliate with the Country Hive, but I support her because I love her stuff, and you'll find her things listed there. I should say her and James and Ashley's things. Okay, see, I put adhesive on the back side of this earlier, remember? Naughty, naughty. Okay, so now we just press that down in place. And I can put this over the top just to make sure it fits in there. And it does, it looks really great. So now I can trim off the bottom using my paper snips. We don't need these pieces here. You could leave them, I suppose. I suppose you could. Oh my gosh, that's a great idea. Actually, I could have left them because I'll show you. Hang on. See? That would have looked good too, just having a little extension on there. Totally fine. Okay, there's so many ways you can go with creativity, right? How did I come up with the circle Bonnie? I came up with that a few years back when I was working with another card. I don't know, actually. I was looking at the circle and I went, this looks like the top of the heart, because I think it was a paper pumpkin kit. It didn't have any hearts in it, and I wanted to make a heart. So I just did it. Thanks. Okay, so this piece can get added down. And again, I have adhesive at the top already that I keep forgetting about. Got my finger stuck on there. We're going to add this to this spot so that we see that 1/8 inch on all 3 edges. And then we're going to add this piece overlapping. And when we add this one, we need to come all the way over with our adhesive into those little grooves so that they don't peel up and off. This surface is getting sticky. We may have to just pull it away, even if we have focus issues. So now when we put this down, we're looking at the 1/8 inch on the sides, but we're also looking to make sure that this is lining up with my papers. And I'm going to take this piece and pull it up a little bit. There we go. Okay, we have that on. So pretty, right? The next step is to take and do some letters. So I have some foam adhesive sheets. This is dimensionals, but in sheet form. They come in like pieces that are about this big. And I cut mine down to 1 3/4 inches by 3.5 because it fits these letters just perfectly. This is the same size, but in our basic white cardstock. You have 2 peelable sides. We're going to peel one side off, and we're going to add our cardstock. Just filling in that space. Okay, now we have cardstock that will be sticky once it's cut out. I need to clean up my table. Hang on. We're getting a mess, you guys. Let's pull in the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. And we're going to zoom out a bit because this is really close now. And we're going to take and make sure we have all of our platforms set up. So we have platform number 1, die adapter number 2, and our scratchy cutting plate. And that's all lined up. Then we have our paper upward. Oh, I was going to show you all the dies. Let's do that. Since we're bringing in dies, these are the dies that I'm using from the suite. I'm going to be using this one and this one. I have already used this one. I'll also be using this one and I used the butterfly to get that little tiny butterfly out. So this is from the painted lavender dies. By the way, these envelopes and these magnetic sheets are also accessible in my favorite things section of my website. Okay, here's the other set of dies. These are the alphabet a la mode dies. So for adored, we need A, D, O. And make sure you spell things correctly when you're going to add them permanently to a page like this. R, E, and then we need another D, which we don't have duplicates of, so we'll run this through twice. Let me put these off to the side. Okay, and then we just line these up. And I have some 3M Post-it tape here in case I need everything to kind of sit still. And I'm just going to lay these down, and they don't have to be in order. I'm laying them down so that they are as scrunched together as possible, like so. Ooh, this one would fit here really well. Cutting side is down. And this one we can angle a little bit if we want to. Okay, oh, sticky hands, sticky hands. Use the tape, Rachel. Everybody wants to help me right now. I can feel it. Okay, that's pretty good. Now we're gonna take and add this in at an angle. Once it's in there, we're gonna press it down. We're gonna make sure everything's lined up. We're gonna watch those letters so they don't move on us. And we're gonna aim it in straight. And while we're aiming it in straight, we're going to do what we did last week. Actually, let's crank it back one more time here too. We're gonna do what we did last week, where we want that roller blade that's on the top, because it's really close to this section, we want it right against the cutting part of the die as much as possible. So I'm gonna grab these two top pieces and we're gonna slide them, keeping the sandwich together, and we're gonna lay them back down, because now they're stuck in place because we saw where they were before. We lined them up, they're stuck in place, and we're cranking it through again. And this is amazing, the difference that you can see. Watch, you guys. So now I should have shown you the before, but you can see the cuts way better than we could before. Like now they're coming through completely. This is foam tape, right? So you want it to press as hard as possible. So we're gonna lift that up and off of there, and we want the D again. So let's actually take these all out of here. So if you're having trouble with your adhesive sheets, or, you know, because sometimes even just when you're doing it, when you're cutting out like regular cardstock or paper and you don't have these foam adhesive pieces on it, sometimes it gets hard to do with just cranking it through the regular way. So flip the whole thing, take the whole sandwich and flip it upside down. You can also use like precision plates if you still have something like that. There's other tools and ways to get it to work, but oops, sorry. There we go. So there's our R, and the paper is there, and this is the back that's going to peel off, okay? Let's grab the next one. This is the part. I knew this would take a little bit of time in the video, but I wanted to show you how this works, you guys. It's so cool. Poke that out. So yeah, they separate completely. I always talk about how the adhesive sheets aren't my favorite. I'd rather sponge glue onto the back of my detailed dies once I've cut them out. But I think that if I were just to flip it over, I would use it more often. And I forget this unless I'm doing something super thick or whatever. Okay, we have those letters. Now we're going to take and run it through one more time with the letter D. So let's grab our sandwich again. We want our scratchy mat down and put the D on, and we'll do it one more time through. We will bring this machine back because we have to die cut some flowers and leaves. You're freaking out, Tina. She goes, my dies would have moved. Well, that's true. You can get slight movement when you go back and forth or when you flip over, but the trick is to hold the whole sandwich. So we're flipping it over, we're keeping pressure on it as we bring it through. It takes a bit of coordination. Thanks, Janet. She likes the tip. Yay. Okay. All right, we've got our last letter here. So we'll just pull that off and set that aside. Let's set these guys off to the side. Didn't use the Post-it tape yet, but we will on the next ones. Okay, next, let's bring this piece back in. Let's take our letters and add them. And what I did when I first made it was I laid all the letters out first. I actually spelled out the word so I could make sure that the spacing was correct. So you're just gonna go like this, you know what I mean? Lay it all out, adored. But I already kind of know where they go, so we can skip that. But you wanna do that first, get them all set up. And then you just take your letters one at a time, peel off the backing, and it becomes that instant sticker. And as you stick them down, it might help also to have a piece, like a strip of cardstock that is, say, the same height as this area. You could take and cut. I'll just demonstrate it. I'll just show you, because this is something I do often, especially when I'm doing a larger page that's not as close to the edge. I'm gonna take and cut this to 5/8 of an inch. And we'll just lay this down here. Ooh, that's almost perfect. So 5/8 of an inch is laying at the bottom here, and it kind of helps me now to line up the rest of this. Let's grab that Post-it tape. Let's grab the Post-it tape and stick it in place. Good idea. Okay, so I hope everyone's having a great week. Stick that down. If you did not catch the video I did on Saturday, I went live a second time last week, and I shared some fun new online exclusive products that will debut on March 5th. Demonstrators right now get to pre-order a lot of it. So you can be certain that I'll be sharing projects with that soon. But today, again, is the blog hop day, and I am so excited to be hopping with my other friends. And the way that works is you just go to one of our blogs, you start there, you see the project, you look at all the information on that project, and then you scroll down to the bottom where all the names of all of our people are in our group, and you click on somebody's name and you go to the next post. And you just keep doing that, because all of our posts have each other's names in them, and you can just keep visiting blog, right? Blah, 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 blah. That sounded like blah, blah, blah. Blog. Visit all the blogs. That's a hop. I didn't know what it was when I first started blogging. I'm like, what's a hop? Okay, so we have this D coming into the heart here somewhat, and that's ready. Now we have that little butterfly that we already cut out, and we can grab a glue dot, and this might help me if we just take and use the end of our scissors or the take your pick tool. You can take and roll it into a little burrito, stick this down on top of it to grab it, and that's going to get added right about here, and we'll set that piece aside. All right, that was the 5th one. The 6th one is using this circle. So we've got that little circle punched out from our designer paper that we did the heart with right here, right? We punched that out. That's from that little corner. And we're going to grab another one of these papers. In fact, let's grab 2 of them, and we're going to bring back our machine because we want to now bring in some embossing folders. And these embossing folders are amazing for this suite. You have 2 little looks here. Now they're eucalyptus, but if you're like me, a leaf is a leaf sometimes, right? So we're going to be using those, those to decorate 2 panels of our card. We're going to stick this one in the middle here, like this. Oops. I knew exactly where I had lined them up. Here, we'll just go like that. We'll bring it right up to the top. This one was lined up with the top of the embossing folder. And this one, or maybe that's the bottom, I don't know. This one, I don't know where I put it. I think, oh, I know what it was. I stuck it, see this, there's a tiny leaf here, and I didn't want that other leaf to kind of get in there, so I brought it back so that it was just that tiny leaf getting embossed. And I think I brought it up a little higher. There we go. So now you can see where I positioned that one. Let's get our platform. Take away these pieces here because this is 3D. We're doing 3D. So we need our machine. We need our platform. And I forgot to grab something from my cupboard. Hang on. It's our plate number 4. Number 4 is what you put on top of 3D folders like this. So we're just going to line it all up, stick it down, make sure everything's stuck in there in the right spots, and we'll crank it through. So we're putting just a little bit of embossed dimension onto 2 pieces. This one here, isn't that pretty? And this one here. So this one's the one we're going to work with first. And slip this over here. Okay. Let's grab that piece and let's grab that circle again. Here it is. And we need some ribbons. So the ribbons that I'm grabbing, because this suite doesn't come with any, this is the wavy trim, the wavy, natural wavy trim. It has kind of a, here, I'll show you, because we need to cut off 6 inches of it anyways. I'm going to pull one of these out. So it has crimped hair. That's what it reminds me of, you guys. It looks like crimped hair. So each one of these, if you pull it out from the middle strand, you have like crimped hair and this really kinky hair. We actually need one of these. And I'm going to just do a little bow here quick. So I'm doing a loop, tying it over, grabbing my scissors because it's really stiff right now. Grabbing my scissors to pull that through. And now we have a bow that we need on another part of the page, or the sampler. Okay, so there's our bow. There, that's done. Okay, now for this one, I used about 3.5 inches. So let's measure that out using our grid paper here. It's about 3.5 inches of each of these. And I did that twice because you'll see another one which I already have done with the same kind of look. Then I took my grid surface, either my glass mat or I took my paper here, and I made sure that this was lined up with the lines of my grid paper and found the middle point. The middle point, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is the middle point, halfway through. You'll just mark that on each side. And then you can take your adhesive and you just run it so that it's going straight through from side to side. So I just use seal adhesive, For ribbon, I recommend seal adhesive or a dry tape. If you use the Tombow liquid glue, you're going to possibly have seepage coming through. Now we are going to use the Tombow on the second one, but for this one, it's the flat seal. So let's lay that down like that. And now what I'm doing is I'm lining it up with these two spots on my grid paper and these two spots, which are right between or right on the sides of those dots that we originally had. So this goes right through the middle. Take our ribbon scissors, or sharper of our two. I always put a ribbon on my snips so that I have a scissors that doesn't get dull. It's only for ribbon. So that's on there, and then the next piece, because we have little tiny knots here, instead of having little tiny glue dots in all of those knots, I thought it was best if we put this on with a little bit of the Tombow multi-purpose liquid glue. So we're just doing that on each knot. Crafting is so fun. Okay, now we'll take this whole piece and we'll lay it down on top, and that just adds more texture. So this ribbon on the bottom, sorry, I forgot to tell you what that is. It's called the burlap ribbon, and it's from a combo pack. You actually get real red and this burlap or crumb cake color in that pack. So the other one is real red, which didn't coordinate with this, but you can use it for something else. You can use red in so many things. Valentine's Day, Christmas, birthdays. I mean, red is just one of those bright and cheerful colors that kind of overlaps a lot of occasions and holidays. Okay, so that's done. This piece is going to go next, and we're just going to put that on with our dimensionals, which keep hiding in plain sight on me. I don't know why I keep finding this. Virginia, did you crimp your hair too? Oh my gosh, I still have my crimper. I don't wear it or wear my hair that way anymore, except for when there's an 80s party going on. And it's actually not very good for my hair. You guys know my hair issues, so I probably will never touch it again and just need to get rid of it. But good memories, good memories. High school and college, crimping hair. Okay, so now we'll add this to the center. So we have about the same amount of ribbon on each side. I love that there's usually some pretty little extra element in the punch. Like no matter where I've positioned the punch on this paper, I have like a butterfly or these beautiful white delicate flowers in there or something, but it's gorgeous. So that's all set to go except for the little rhinestone-y things. And that was number 6. Number 7 is this one, and it's as done as it can get, so we'll set that aside. Number 8 is the last part. The last part before we start putting together our sampler, and I just have to put these over here for now because I need to grab what's underneath, involves this piece. And this piece already has the ribbon on just like I added before. We need to mount it onto some of that 3x3 Blackberry Bliss. And then I have these here because we need to take and do some die cutting. So I think I have all of that done. Okay, so let's take and bring in our machine again. We need to have another sprig like this from our Lost Lagoon piece. We need to, let's grab our dies. Here they are. So this one's going to get cut with that. This one is going to do designer paper. This is the back side of the little checkery looking one here. So that's going to get cut out of that one. And then we need this one on the purple paper. This is also part of the designer paper. We want the purple side. And we need some stamped pieces. So we're going to do that same technique where we, in fact, here, that piece I don't need to use because I have this one. We're going to do that same technique where we ink up our stamp with our gorgeous green, gorgeous grape ink. And when I stamp this, I'm inking it up with the full color, but I'm going to use my grid paper to remove some of the ink just on the top. I'm tilting it. So here's the paper. I'm tilting the stamp slightly, and I'm pressing down to remove some color so that now you see kind of this dark and light look. And to even that out, we're going to take our dauber and we're just going to sponge through there, and that softens the connection of the two colors. And then I just want to add a couple darker little accents on a couple of the flowers that are up on top. I exhale on it, and then I stamp it down, and I get that multi-tone look to it. Okay, dark light kind of look. Let's do that again with this one. So I'm inking with the full color, cleaning up my table space here. Inking with the full color, right? And then I'm going to press off. I'm angling it towards my grid paper like that. I'm pressing off just some of it towards the top. Probably didn't get enough off the top. So we'll just use our dauber and we'll kind of lighten it up in here. And then we'll add a bit of depth to some of the parts that are up on top here. Exhale, and we're going to stamp that down. So pretty. I'm so excited. Was number 7 embossed? Number 7. Yes, that's that is, oopsie. I'm back. That was this one. Okay, so that's number 7, and that's going to go underneath. So these two kind of work together. So we have these two like that, and then all my little sprigs are going to come out from underneath this one, overlapping the other one. So let's start die cutting these pieces, which are now ready to go. We'll need that. We're going to set these. Actually, we'll put these over here because we're working on them. Okay, let's bring the machine back in. And we need to get rid of our 3D thingy and adjust our bra straps. Oh, here they are. Okay. There. We're going to put our die adapter down. Scratchy plate. You guys can see what I'm doing if I'm on this side, right? Okay. So we will use our Post-it tape on this one because we want to connect. I figure it's easier for me to put my Post-it tape on here if this is on my right side instead. So I'm sticking that in place. Let's do this one the same way. Can you see over my hands though if I'm doing this? Maybe not. Try to move it right there. So that one's going to get stuck there. And you know what? Let's just do one more down here. Those are in place. Let's die cut a couple more. Actually, let's see if we can fit them all on. Shall we do that? We shall. Let's see if we can fit them all on here. I know we can do it. Okay, so we'll shove that one off to the side. We're going to bring these two here. And it's somewhere, you guys. Where did it go? Oh, here it is. That one's going to get set here. We want the crumb cake side of the paper on that one, and we want the purple side on this one. That one I'm going to have to tape down because it is rolling around on me. And sometimes it rolls around because there's a slight curve to it. So if you take and kind of wiggle it back, it'll lay better. But I'm still going to tape it just to make sure it doesn't move. And then we need this one. Okay, we're ready. Let's put that other cutting plate on top. Pull this back a bit, angle it in, stick it down and hold it tight. As my arm was in the way with that. I'm so sorry, you guys. Okay. Do you guys know that our Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine folds up to store away? I don't know if you know that, but it's pretty darn awesome. You just take and fold up the sides and you can put it away. All right, let's grab our tape off of here. There's one piece. Where's my take your pick tool? Oh, there it is. I keep looking for it. It's not gone. It's just not taken out yet. There's one of our purple pieces. The other one stayed within the paper. This video is going to go a little longer than an hour, you guys. I'm sorry about that. And then we have this one. This one might be a little bit harder. Oh, no, it's kind of easy. Detailed, the more detailed the die, sometimes the more challenging it is to get out of your piece. I do have the die adapter brush, and I don't use it much, but there's that. But it's helpful, especially if you have a really detailed die. Okay, we have our pieces. Yay. So for our sampler, we are now ready to put it together. If Rachel could pick up these pieces, shove them off to the side here. And I'm going to lift this away if that's okay. It's kind of distracting me, all those little marks on there. I like a clean surface. Ooh, it's all clean. Let's do some little side stuff here really quick. I am just gonna take some of our basic white 8.5 by 11 cardstock, and I'm gonna do a score down the middle at 4 1/4, which is half of 8.5. And then I'm going to turn it this way, and I'm going to cut it in half this direction. Half of 11 is 5 1/2. We have it at the 5 1/2 inch mark. I'm going to fold each of these. I'm going to move my trimmer out of the way, grab my bone folder. I have 2 card bases here, and I have basic white envelopes. If you're a card maker, samplers are still great inspiration. You can take these pieces and you can add them to card fronts. So let's say you're loving this video, but you're not going to make a sampler to hang on a wall or prop up on a shelf. You can take these elements and add them to basic white cardstock card bases and have instant cards. Let's do that with some other size cards. So you can also get pre-cut and scored card bases that are called note cards. So note cards come with envelopes that coordinate, they're the same size. I'm gonna grab my Blackberry Bliss ink now, which I almost got all over my hands. And I'm going to take a sentiment from my stamp set, which I have not shared with you yet. These are the 2 stamp sets we're using. Sorry, forgot to show those. Painted Lavender matches the dies that I'm showing off, and then Perennial Postage comes with the postage shape looking dies. And I didn't use any of the postage shape ones in this project, but look at all the awesome sentiments in here. So I'm going to use this one. This is the one we used on the sampler. And then there's another one, I can't thank you enough, which you're going to see on another project in just like 2 seconds. Okay, we'll just stamp this down. And we have an instant card. So this is piece number 3. I made a second piece of it so that you could see it on a card. Instant card, right? Either size works. This is another example of taking those elements from the sampler and turning them into cards. So all you card makers, you can do it, right? I want to show you one other thing. Let's put these inked up stamps off to the side. There is another post that I'm going to be sharing soon that has these scrapbook pages in them, and they are from Paper Pumpkin. Paper Pumpkin last month, the December kit coordinated with the Lovely Lavender Suite. And do you see what I did here? I took the same idea And these pages I'm going to post in just a couple days. But the same idea where I created them kind of like a sampler, only I left several of them blank so that you could add 2 3/4 by 2 3/4 photos all over here. And you have this love themed page. Let's just look at this for a minute and imagine these pieces that we've been working on. And I'm just going to pull them over here so that they're easier to grab. And we're zoomed out enough, right? You guys can see this? Okay. So I really regret taking the backings off of this. Okay, so like, let me show you here. This one could be these pieces, right? All of these guys can be here. We're just going to shove them there for now, not put together very well, but the same kind of idea as this, right? So we have those there. Let's put our adored up here. Let's put our, trying to remember what I did here. Let's put, how many do I have left? 1, 2, 3, 4. I think what I did is I took this one and add them down here with the, here it is, Loved Beyond Measure. And then this one here is this piece. And then I took and added this here and this here. Scrapbooking. For those of you that love scrapbooking, we just took and made all these elements. You don't have to put them on the wall or on a shelf. Now you can just add a few more pieces of your Blackberry Bliss 3x3 cards, and you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 places for photos by adding those elements in this way to make scrapbook pages. Let's put these together though and finish off that sampler that I had told you that we were going to make. So we'll move these off to the side. You can see these pages on, what day? Friday, on Friday. In fact, that's another blog hop. Okay, you'll want to stick around because this is really a cool tip for people who like to make samplers. So here's the sampler. Here is a frame. I'm going to use that Post-it tape again, and I'm going to line this up with my cardstock, my basic white 12 by 12 cardstock. Where did my Post-it tape? Oh, here it is. Post-it tape. Let's just add one here. I think oh, they're stuck to my dies still. Let's add one here. Post-it tape, Post-it notes. If you can grab something that's not going to permanently stick to your projects, you can have lots of great creativity done in your craft room. All right, so this one, we're going to add to the corner. And I may just get out my multi-purpose because I have a new refill in here and it keeps stopping up on me. Okay, and there, get that tape off my fingers. Watch. So cool, right, you guys? So cool. You just take and use that frame and you start adding your pieces. All right, this one goes in the corner. Down here, we're gonna have to move this one. I'm glad you're enjoying what I'm sharing, you guys. It's fun to look up and see your comments. That one gets shoved down here. And we'll just keep that in place. And then we have this one, which I haven't mounted yet. I forgot to mount it. Oh, I know why. Because we're gonna add the foliage. So we're gonna add this one blank. Got to get those stems and flowers in there. Okay, now that all those pieces are added there, let's add the next layers. This one goes here. And you just want to make sure that you have about 1/4 inch between these two, right? And then we have this one up here. See, it's being finicky on me. It's a new one and it's being finicky. That one gets stuck here, and I'm just shoving it right up to the edge of my frame. And then this one gets added over here. And as you add them, you can pull the tape away because they kind of like, it won't move on you because they're stuck kind of by the edges of all these pieces. They're not stuck, they're just kind of stable, I guess. Okay, and that gets added here, and then we just lift up and pull the frame away. Got that idea from Sandy Carlson. Thank you, Sandy. And then we grab this one and we add that to the middle just by centering it. It's the only one you have to eyeball, you guys. The rest of them are all shoved up right against the edges. Okay, now let's add this. Okay, do you remember where we put the dimensionals there? Now we want to have tape where it's lifted up the highest and a little bit over here. We're going to lift up that pink heart a bit again. We're going to shove it underneath there and press it down. That's in place. Let's add our leaves. It's coming together, it's coming together. Woohoo! Okay, so this one is going to get added with our precision tip glue. This would be a wonderful present to give to a loved one, you know, and you can go and get, you know, like on Amazon or the craft stores, they have those frames out there that you can put pages inside of, like a shadow box kind of frame, you know. That's what I have. They're old though, so I can't even share the link with you. Okay, this gets put here. Like, I don't think they have them anymore. And it gets sucked down like that. And then we have the blue guy, or the purple guys, sorry. Oh, I got a goober. I had a goober on there. Just a little dry glue piece. Those get stuck along here. Yeah, so you could put it in a frame and give it as a gift. It's still, hang on a minute. Oh, grabbing some tissue. Cleaning the end of that. Oh, so much better. And that is going to be put here. I hope I'm adding it in the right place. I'm looking at my finished one, you guys. That gets added there. You do the back ones first, right? And you kind of have to, sometimes you have to take these guys and lay them all out where you want them, and then take a picture with your digital camera, your phone, then pull the top layers away and gradually, one by one, lift up one of the bottom layers, glue it down in place, lift up another bottom layer, glue it down in place. Look at your phone that you took your picture on and see that everything's still lining up. But I have a finished one over here, so I can just look at that. On this one, I took and added a dimensional. Here they are. My desk is a mess. Hey, and if somebody's on my Stampers with Art Stars group, will you let everybody know that I'm going to be late for our live? Normally I go live at 12:15 in my demonstrator group, and I am not going to make it. And neither is Trisha, and neither is Lisa. All right, so this is going to get stuck down here between these two, like that. And this one kind of lifts off the paper. I'm way far away, aren't I? I'm sorry about that, you guys. This one lifts off the paper a bit because I want it to look like it's coming out. Then we'll add this one. So as I'm finishing up, just want to remind you all about celebration. We're in our last month of celebration. When you place an order in the US of $50 or more, you get to have a free celebration pick. We have picks at the $50 level, and we have picks at the $100 level. So if you'd rather get a more higher valued item, you can place a $100 order and pick that instead. So that's going on. The glass mat is part of celebration. Celebration is basically this 2-month promotional time that Stampin' Up! Has every year. I'm going to put 2 dimensionals on here. And there's always a sign-up special. So if you have wanted to get on the demonstrator side of things, this is a really great time to do it because you get extra in your kit. The glass mat is the extra. If you don't want the glass mat, there's also the option to add in, and this is just going to kind of go like that. There's also the option to choose $30 extra in your kit instead. You can do either or. This one's going to go on top. Choose one and not the other, right? Oh, something else with kits, and I always have people saying, why can't I just pay the extra? You can choose up to, but not over $125 worth of product when you get the starter kit. You can't go over, unless you're getting the 30 extra instead of the glass mat. But yeah, you can't go over that dollar amount. Okay, this is gonna get stuck down here like that. And I think I added too much glue. It probably came off and went up higher. You don't want to glue beyond, like leave that part unglued. This can now get stuck down on top. So yeah, normally the kit is $99 for up to $125 worth of product. But right now it's the same and add the glass mat for free, or $30 extra, so up to $155 worth of product. I'm gonna close up the glue and I'm gonna bring in those purple gems. The fun little embellishments always come later, don't they? If you are interested in any of these products, you can go to my blog, which I keep forgetting to put up. My website is stampyourartout.com, and you go there and you can click on the shop button. Excuse me. Oh my gosh, started to get a little thing in my throat. You can click on the shop button and it will allow you to purchase these products that I'm sharing, unless of course something sold out, like the Perennial Lavender Suite. I don't remember exactly what it is, but something in there is sold out right now. Not sold out completely, it's coming back. Okay, I'm rolling that up. I'm gonna stick this twine onto my glue dot, pick it up, and I'm gonna stick this down here, and I'm going to trim the ends off a bit. Kind of like that one though. Maybe I'll leave it long. Yeah, I like that one. I like that one reaching down like that. So yeah, you can shop from my website. There's a link to the online store. If you're a demonstrator, shop from yourself because you get your discount. Woohoo! And if you have a demonstrator, show them some love and give them an order, right? Hopefully you got inspired by what I shared. I'm gonna take the lighter of the 3 gems. We have Highland Heather, Gorgeous Grape, and Blackberry Bliss. I'm gonna take the lighter toned one. I'm pushing to lift it off, and the gummy end of my Take Your Pick tool is grabbing it. And then I'm gonna grab a couple smaller ones here and put them on the sides. And then over here, in this area, I want to embellish that up a bit. I'm really loving the Blackberry Bliss ones, aren't I? That is such a rich neutral color, you guys. Stick a big one there, a small, and a small. And then up here, I'm gonna do a big one right there, a small. I like to do things in 3s or odd numbers, and a small. And then we've got in the middle the Gorgeous Grape color. So we're doing all 3 of these colors, you guys. We're gonna do one right there and one right there. And that's it. I know it's not an odd number, it's 2. But it's my favorite number. It's the number 2. Okay, I did not show you my awesome ruler, and even though I didn't show it to you, I'm gonna show it to you now. Because it's also part of my favorite extras. This is a ruler that Nancy and Kayla from Stamping Bay shared with me a couple weekends ago. It's called the Victor ruler. And this is also something you can access from my favorite things, but take a peek. Look at the measurements, you guys. For those of you that don't like math, I love math, and you know that, but it's a really helpful ruler in case you need to be doing any measuring. Okay, we did it, you guys. I have 2 samplers. Yay! Who am I going to give them to? Yay, I'm glad that you guys were able to stick around for a while. I want to make sure that I've told you everything that I needed to tell you. We talked about celebration. Oh, tutorials. So if you're watching this video and you're interested in learning more about the All-Star group, I'm going to now click on my computer screen and we're going to bring up a window here. Hang on. Should have had this ready. Okay. Bringing you over to my, oops, that's not the right thing to click on, Rachel. I'm bringing you over to my website because I want you to see how to find tutorials. If you go under shop, again, remember online store, favorite extras, tutorials. And did you see this there? It says tutorials, logo, merchandise, and more. Something's coming. I'm going to click on tutorials and you can see here that this is where you can find pages and pages. See, it keeps going beyond 7. Pages and pages of tutorials that I've done in my last 24 years. Tomorrow marks my 24th year as a demonstrator. Whoop, whoop. It's always the day after my my youngest birthday, and his birthday is today. So tomorrow, 24 years. Anyways, here is the Perennial Lavender tutorial. You can click on it. You can add it to your cart and purchase it if you'd like to. It's also sometimes like one of the prizes I give out. Choose a tutorial. In fact, it's always an option. But I wanted to mention it because this is the one that's being offered this month to our subscribers, because we offer a subscription period at the beginning, to our people that might win prizes, right? But we also offer it as a purchase and as something you can earn with a minimum purchase. If you place a $50 order with me in any month, you get that month's tutorial bundle. So $50 orders will earn this tutorial bundle. I hope that you come back to visit at 3 o'clock today, you guys, because we are going to have a ton of beautiful projects to share with you. Second ideas that all of us All-Stars have created for you. Okay, so there's the exclusive ones in the tutorial bundle, and then there's the ones that we're showing on our blog hop. Prizes, we got to do those. So I'm going to bring you to my desktop, and we're going to move this little thing aside, and I'm going to pull in last week's prizes. They are down here. In fact, everything's down here. I need a shelf. Last week's prizes were packs of basic white cardstock, and oh yeah, and then you got a couple choices of inks, right? That was it. And then this week, I'm grabbing them, hang on, I'm almost with you. Okay, here I am. Okay, so last week's winners, I'm going to show you who they were because we had after live comment winners. If you commented after the live was done, you had a week's time to do that. And Facebook comments, all of those get entered. So I'm going to show you the winners that we have for those people from last week's video. Again, it is 2 packs of these 5x7 paper, basic white paper packs, and then 2 ink spots. You choose the color, okay? Two colors, sorry. So let me grab the winners and pull them up. Here we go. On Facebook, we had Patty Boudreau. I'm guessing the T is silent. Patty Boudreau, I hope that's how you say it. And then from YouTube, after live commenters, we had Kelly's Crafts. And I love your comment, Kelly. Thank you so much. Okay, so then we go back to the desktop because we have prizes for this time. I have lots of celebration freebies. And if you don't have one of these and you're a prize winner, you get to pick. Otherwise, you can choose the tutorial bundle for free. If you are outside the US, you can still be a winner and you can choose a tutorial bundle, right? I have a couple heartfelt hellos. I have the softly sophisticated stamp set, which is actually level 2 because it comes with this embossing folder, but I'm going to separate the 2 of them because they don't need to be together. So watercolor melon, softly sophisticated, heartfelt hellos, or I'm going to put the embossing folder with this ribbon, which is also a freebie, level 1, but I think it should be added with something else. So these 2 are going to go together, okay, as a choice. The ribbon in Pool Party with the softly sophisticated embossing folder, this, or this. And there's a couple of those. So if somebody picks it, they still get another chance. And I'm gonna go back to my computer over here so I can see if Trisha has selected our winner. Maybe she had to leave because I kept her here an extra 15 minutes, you guys. I hope she's still with us. So if she isn't, I'll just draw winners, but hopefully she was able to stay. Oh, looks like some people are congratulating the winners. Yay, I'm looking at my computer here. Oh, and Candace is gonna make a sampler now. She was inspired. Yay, love your hands, your pink hands. Those are fun, Melanie. I don't see Trisha. Hang on, I'm gonna just scroll past here and see if I can. I don't know if I can scroll. Oh, there we go. Has she announced them yet? I still see that she's with us. Trisha is announcing the prize winners, you guys. There they are. I see them coming up. Woohoo! Ta-da! We have Mary Russom and Betty Monroy. Congratulations to you two. You are the winners of the Celebration Pick prizes. And again, any winner who lives outside the US or who doesn't want the prize that I'm offering can choose a tutorial. Congratulations to you two. Woohoo! I think that's it. I'm gonna let you all go. I went 20 minutes beyond, even though I had lots of things prepared. Crazy Rachel, and I even talk fast. I'm gonna let you go. Next week, I'll be live with you again. I have a fun project idea to show you. Don't forget to visit this blog post at 3 p.m. Central Time, which is in a little over 2 hours, so that you can see the PDF, you can get photos, you can get a copy of the video again, and all that good stuff. And then next Friday, this coming Friday, you can see the paper pumpkin page layout that I just showed you. Next week is February 14th, Valentine's Day. I hope you're able to join me at that time. Some of you may be out and about. In the US, it's a holiday. But I'll be back at 11 a.m. Central Time on February 14th. Hugs to you all. Take care, everybody. And now I'd like you all to go and stamp your art out. Bye-bye.